Hello, everyone. This is Jomi. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm the secretary of the Atlanta chapter of Atlanta Indo-American Press Club here. So I want to touch base with you since there's a pandemic going across the globe, and as a community activist here in the small city where we live in Atlanta, Snellville, Georgia. Recently, we had an interesting conversation with the local mayor and the whole council member and the team, and trying to get a feedback from the community in general. So they want to know how people are reacting, the feedback from the people, and how people are taking heed to the governor's order to stay home and so forth. And for the most part, the governor's orders were in paper, it's okay, but people are out and about doing things. So that's what the number of cases are reporting, and also getting spread to other small suburb community. It's in the rise. So basically, so that their team was just concerned, like in how our neighborhood and the community here, about 55 different subdivisions in Snellville, Georgia, and so during the whole interaction, that it was really interesting to see how some large community, for example, like Kerala, India, where I'm originally from, and I believe about 34.5 or some million people, they do live in the state of Kerala. Even though it's a small state, but there's such a number of people that live in a small space there, and it's also known as a God's country. So I was telling her that how the government of Kerala, and she was trying to get the perspective from different individuals and the community and so forth. So I was following some of the developments from the state of Kerala, how the health department was doing the work that is really impacting the community to bring down the number instead of the number go up. I mean, at some point when more people test, the number will go up, but it won't spread. It means it will come to a stop, the curve will flatten out. So and she was really, the mayor of Snellville was really amazed by the work they do, because the number of people they had to deal with, 34.5 or 30, almost 35 million people in a small state, where probably in Georgia, our home state is here now, about 10 million people live here. So about almost 25 million people in abundance in Kerala, and less people are dealing with, but still they're struggling because the corona, the COVID-19 virus is spreading, and it's in the rise as each day goes by. And today is April 8th, and governor's order has been extended to April 30th. So on behalf of Indo-American Press Club, I think we should have a really good conversation. The local government here are really open to hear our feedback, how other country been really successful in defeating the number and the spread from other communities, and especially when you have the high population number. So that's when I thought, even they themselves were, they did some research on it, and the health minister, I believe, K.K. Sharda, who is the active minister, she's a very smart lady, and implementing the right, laws and regulations in each district, and they separating it out by hot zones, which is super smart. And I showed to her different maps and the hot zones and how they divide certain areas so they can concentrate each pocket like that. So in order to eradicate these virus from the community. And I was really impressed too. I was, quite surprised. Like, even I was doing the research that, the government of Kerala was doing an extraordinary job, and it has to be brought to other people's attention, because I believe the chief minister of Kerala also was doing an excellent job. I have to admit that, because when people do, we have to say it openly and bring that out so other people can follow what they do. So even though the Department of Health in Kerala is not the best and they are not the advanced, they have a lot of technology-wise, they're so far behind compared to developed countries like in the US and Europe. So still they're doing an extraordinary job to defeat it. And I believe we have to give credit, and they have such a good point to keep the number in a certain graph. So instead of shooting up like in New York and state of Washington also doing really good. The number is actually flattened out, and but California is doing also good. But in New York, it's one of the hot zones are totally it's shooting up right now, and hopefully at some point it will drop and flatten out. But could be a few weeks from now. So a lot of people are dying here. So the mayor, her name is Barbara Bender here, our local city. She was totally amazed by the number of people they had to deal with, number of airports, and also the number of different mode of transport people use to get in and out each city. And when they exit to certain regions, they're tracking them. And also the another smart thing they did was presenting the general public with a roadmap. That was really a smart idea. So I presented these things to the local city where I live now, and to the mayor, and she was really impressed. She didn't know. She made a big file out of it, and hopefully she can and present that to the state and see if we can have a better control of the whole situation. Because here, even though there's a stay-at-home and shelter-in-place order, nobody was paying attention to it. I mean, people were just out and about and going to Walmart and Kroger and Publix and anywhere you go, you see people there, in line, and it's like nothing happens. But when you look at the numbers every day, at the end of the day, it's not flattened out, it's going up, means it is spreading. So even though social distancing, it's been issued by the Center for Disease Control, but at some point that's not really even working, because people are following the social distance at some point, and a few minutes later they're back to just the routine. So one point I want to make as the Indo-American Press Club, somehow we need to bring these smart decisions to defeat this crazy virus spread. Even the Nipah virus in Kerala also, that health minister, she did an extraordinary job. And I believe when as an organization, Indo-American Press Club, when you began to create a momentum, the news will spread. And that's how their hard work and vision to dealing with this such a large number of population there in the small state, and to keep it down so less people will die. So when you listen to your family, my family, there's so many people back there in Kerala, so we don't want to see them dead tomorrow. So we should appreciate such individuals that are doing an extraordinary job. So that's what I want to bring it out. So if other Indo-American Press Club have a second thought and see how we can acknowledge the work Department of Health doing in Kerala, and please share your thoughts as well. Looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you.